Hey there, this is Eric from Bullets2Bandages. If you haven't been on our website in the last couple weeks, you may not have noticed that we've gone through a complete site overhaul, redesign, updating to a new theme, which has also incorporated a few new features that we did not previously have available on our website. So I'm going to walk through a few of those features, which I think helps the website both from an aesthetic point of view and how it looks, as well as how it functions, making things easier to find, easier to search around, and ultimately easier to order the products and get them looking exactly the way you want them. So first things first, if you look down in the lower left corner here, it's partially covered up by the chat window, or excuse me, by my video window, but there's a window that says chat. We're right here and ready to help. We have live chat up on our website for 16 hours a day, most days. So if you have any questions about finding any products, how long it takes to customize products, how to do your personalization, things like that, you can click the button down there and come up with a chat window and talk to a real live person. And if either the chat rep is on break, or it's say night, it's off hours, or weekend or something like that, and no one is able to answer immediately, just leave a message with your name and email address, and either me or one of our customer service reps will get back to you as soon as we're able to. So looking at the site, a few of the things that you'll notice that make it a little bit more user-friendly for browsing is the way that the navigation bars will expand based on what you're hovering over. So if you're looking at groomsmen gifts, you can see, here's the most popular options for our groomsmen gifts. If you're looking at barware, shot glasses, tap handles, glasses, coasters, things along those lines. So it makes it easier to have our most popular products, as well as some of our newest products, listed out in a way that's easy to navigate, easy to find exactly what you're looking for. If you don't see something in those in that navigational window or navigation bar right away, you go to the search bar, and we've got a sort of new and improved search bar, which functions sort of like how Google does in terms of predictive text and suggesting things based on what it thinks you're asking. So if I was to come on here and think, okay, I want to look for groomsmen gifts, I start typing in GROO, and immediately it pops up. Here's our groomsmen gift sets, here's barware for groomsmen, here's manly groomsmen gifts, as well as some individual products. So I can look down there and see, okay, I can go straight to one of those product pages instead of having to go to something where it's sort of a jumbled up search page where I then have to go through and click everything. It also is able to correct for spelling mistakes and things like that. So let's say I was looking for cufflinks and I typed in CUFLINKS. It's going to correct. It's going to know what I'm trying to look for and suggest both this product with cufflinks as well as some of these bundle packs that include cufflinks along with other products. So that should make it pretty easy to find whatever you're looking for. So if I'm looking for Army products, there's U.S. Army, Army, West Point. Same thing if I'm looking for Navy. I get the Navy bottle openers as well as Beat Navy. That's no good. I don't want to have that up on our site. We'll have to take care of that. But you can get an idea of finding things quickly and easily just by starting to type in the search bar. And you can also browse around through some of the category pages, most popular gifts, military collections. Like I said, the site should be quite a bit more aesthetically pleasing and easier to navigate. You can also look at stuff like the redesigned FAQ page, where it's everything's kind of condensed. But if I click on one answer or click on one question, it'll expand for me, accordion style, so I can expand and contract each of those sort of one by one. So if I was to go back to the groomsmen gift page, now I'm going to go through sort of a demonstration of how the customization works and some of the other features that we've also upgraded, as well as show one of our new product options. So let's go with matte black powder coated finish is our most popular groomsmen gifts. You can see here that we've added the wood box option due to popular demand. We still have the heavy cardstock boxes, which are available in blank and branded and personalized. But we also added these pine or ebony stained pine wood boxes, which can be customized. So if I was to go through, click on a product like this, so what you'll immediately see is just an example of what the engraving would look like both for the bottle opener and the box. You'll see the list price. One thing that we updated is you'll see on most of our page or most of our product pages that do offer quantity discounts, and that's a huge majority of products on our website. You'll get discounts based on buying in quantities of 4 or more, or sometimes 3 or more. So you can see here, if I buy 4 or more, I get savings of 8%, 8 or more savings of 10%. So what you'll see here as you start to adjust the quantity is when I go from 3 to 4, it updates the price to reflect that I'm getting that 8% discount. Same thing when I go from 7 to 8, there's the 10% discount factored in, and so on. You'll also notice, like when it says here, main discount group, that means the discounts apply across multiple products that are in the same category. So if I was to, if I wanted to buy, say, 4 black ones with the wood boxes and 2 brass ones with no boxes, and then 2 silver ones or nickel-plated ones with personalized or branded boxes or whatever, since I'm ordering 8 total products, once you add to cart, you'll see that that they're all discounted at the 10% rate because you are ordering 8 products from the same category or same group. So I'll go through a quick demonstration of really just how quick and easy the personalization goes, and how user friendly it is, and how it really helps to ensure that your products are end up looking exactly the way you want them. So I'll drop it down to 4 just to simplify things a little bit, so I don't have to go through and enter 8 different engravings. So let's say once I change my quantity, I click the red personalize button. One side note here, if you are using Internet Explorer, you won't be able to do this on-screen personalization just because it's kind of an old and outdated browser, that we can't do this on-screen preview and mock-up functionality. But if you do log on and you're using Internet Explorer, you'll see a pop-up that says, we recommend shopping through one of these links, which is just sort of it's sort of the old way that we used to collect personalization information before we had this on-screen preview functionality. So we can still personalize your order, you just won't be able to see the preview, if the on-screen previews and mock-ups if you're using Internet Explorer. So you can either go through one of those older product listings and enter your engraving that way, or ideally we would recommend changing over to Firefox or Chrome or Safari or a mobile browser so that you can get the better personalization experience and really get an idea of exactly how your product's going to look. So I'll click the personalize button, and you see right here, I see box engraving and bottle opener engraving for item 1 of 4. So before I even start typing text, I can check the different fonts that we have available and get an idea of what they're going to look like and see kind of just in general which one I think I like best. And then once I've picked one, kind of toggle through them back and forth. This is showing up a little bit light, but it'll appear cleaner than this on the product itself. So let's say I want to go with stencil. So what I can do here is just start typing names and start typing dates or whatever other information I want to have on there. So if you're to look at the text box for both the box and the bottle opener. So let's just say I want the box to say the groom, and we'll say the wedding date. And then down for the bottle opener, we'll say Dan Stevens, groom. So one thing you'll see here is with stencil font as well as with a few other fonts, they are stencil in particular. Bourbon is another one. They're all caps all the time. So what you can see here is that whether I'm typing uppercase G or lowercase g, it's going to look the same just because it is an all caps font, like I said. However, if you're going to look at something like, say you checked out this font, you'd be able to see that there it's clearly a capital T, capital H, capital E, lowercase g. So just make sure that the capitalization and the appearance on the mock-up is exactly how you want it. So in this case, since if I'm doing stencil, then it really doesn't matter how I capitalize this. I can just leave it. I can leave it all lowercase. I can leave it all uppercase. It doesn't matter. Kind of when in doubt, go by what it shows in the preview. If you've got any questions, if you're doing this on a mobile browser as opposed to on a computer, on a desktop or tablet, what you'll most likely see, depending on your browser and your display size, is that instead of seeing this pop up automatically, what you'll see is a little red or blue button underneath where you enter the text that says preview. So you can enter your text for the box, for the bottle opener, then click the preview button, and then this will come up in place of the text entry spots. So what that'll allow you to do is enter your text and then preview, see if it looks good, and okay, go on to the next one. So in this case, okay, that's what I want to have for the groom. So I'll hit this arrow, either this green arrow or the one at the bottom, just to go to next. So I'm on to the second one. We'll say this one will be the best man. 11:4. And you'll also see here that it automatically centers the text. It automatically does the line breaks on the preview based on how I enter it. It also automatically centers the text unless I do something like here or do something to intentionally make them off-centered. So as soon as I hit enter, first line is centered, second line is centered. So this is an example of a font. This antique font is one where the uppercase and lowercase are different sizes, so you can see here like upper versus lower and so on. But again, what you see in the preview is exactly what you're going to get. So let's just say I'll say Brad Johnston, best man. Okay, go on to the next one and do the same thing. So I can say this is going to be my groomsman number 1, 11/4/2017. And once again, maybe I want to go with a little bit different font for him. Adjust it and see what I like. Or if I want to add in a third line of text, I could say groomsman number 1. I could say the location of the wedding, San Diego, CA, and I could have this one be different than the rest or whatever. Also useful is that you can scroll back and forth from one to the next while you're in the job, and it still saves your information. So you can see the first one information is still the same as I entered it, second one information is still the same as I entered it, and third one, which I'm just in the process of entering right now, is still there. So then I could say we'll say Darren Bond groomsman, and again, if I want to mess with the fonts, I could do that, but I think for this one, I'll just go ahead and leave it like I had it. So go on to the final one, and we'll make this one the dad, 11/4/2017. Get the father of the bride, definitely. We get something nice for him. And I can again check the font, see if I want to change anything. So I can look at this and say, okay, all caps on script doesn't look very good. So on this one, I'll probably go back and change it to make it say the dad, like that. So I've entered all 1 through 4 for both the bottle openers and the boxes. If I hit previous, so I want to go back through and ensure they're all good, make sure that I don't have any typos or anything like that. The groom, Dan Stevens, groom, good. Best man, Brad Johnston, best man. Groomsman number 1, Darren Bond, that's all good. And then on to the dad, and the name right here. So once you've verified that everything's good, you can click on the Add to Cart button. So click on Add to Cart, and it's going to give you a warning here. The reason we have this is because we used to have fairly often we would have say if somebody was ordering a set of 8 bottle openers, they would unintentionally say have 7 of them that were all Arial font, and then the 8th one they would accidentally choose stencil or something like that. And 99% of the time when that happened, when we'd contact them, we'd find out that yes, they intended to have them all in the exact same font, but they accidentally chose different fonts for them. So what we have here is just a warning to make sure that yes, I did intend to select multiple fonts. It'll also do the same thing. Say if I was to accidentally leave that blank, then it'll say it's giving me a warning that 1, multiple fonts are detected, and 2, I accidentally left this one blank. So in that case, yes, I would go back and I would say, yeah, I want to have this one say Scott Alvarez, father of the bride. Or if I needed to go back and say I did intend to have all the fonts the same, I could go back and change the fonts that way to make them all the same. But in this case, no, I wanted to have each of them different fonts, so I'd go on, click Continue. So at this point, it'll take you to the cart page. Give it a second to load up, and it'll show you that once again the prices are going to reflect what um, what you're getting for the 8% discount. Now, if you were to go back to shopping and buy 4 other products or 5 other products, then once you've added all of those to the cart, it'll do like I said before, where it'll say you're now getting 10% off for buying 8 plus, or you're getting 12% off for buying 12 plus, or whatever the case is. So you can go scroll through here, check one more time to make sure all your spelling and dates and everything are correct, because kind of once we've engraved something, it's what's done is done. We can't really go back and edit something that's been engraved. Don't worry about the fact that this doesn't show the line breaks here. So you can see right here, it looks like Scott Alvarez, Father of the Bride's all on a single line, but based on how you entered it, based on what you saw in the preview, you know that the preview reflected it being on 2 lines. The preview reflected this part here being on 3 lines for the box. And keep in mind, these photos here on the side are just mock-ups, so you're obviously not going to get, it's not going to say John Smith, it's going to say the text that you have entered here. And then once you're ready to check out, again, there it shows that that's the $14.40 that you save by buying in bulk. Note to B2B, so if there's something like, say you need to have it by a certain date and you want us to contact you if you need to upgrade shipping, or if you have any other special instructions, like say maybe you placed an order with us before and we forgot something and we told you we would make it up on your next order when we reship, you can just put the note here and say, please do whatever your note is, or whatever your question or special instructions. A lot of times people will put, please contact me if there's any questions about the engraving, and we very rarely have to, because it's usually pretty easy to tell exactly what you want on there. Keep in mind, this is a note to us, not to the recipient. So if you put something on here, it's not going to show up in a separate gift card or anything like that. Again, if I wanted to go back to shopping and add anything more to the cart, I could do that here. Just by continue shopping. Or let's say I get to this position, or this situation, and I realize that I spelled Darren Bond wrong. There's no way, unfortunately, with the way the on-screen personalization works, we can't allow editing from right here. But what you could do is you could hit minus. I could hit this minus sign, and it would take it to 0. It would essentially remove that one from the cart, and then I could just go back to the product page and re-add that one with a correct engraving. But if I'm done at this point, click the checkout button, and it'll take me to the first page in the checkout screen, where you're able to enter your email. If you've already got an account, if you ordered with us before and set up an email and password, you can log in, and that way it'll autofill your shipping information, everything like that. But otherwise, you would just start to say, start typing your first name, or put your email, first name, last name, all that sort of stuff. Once you have entered your state, so in this case, it's saying California, so that's why it's charging you sales tax. If you choose any other state, once you add your address and go on to shipping method, you can see here I chose out of state, so the sales tax disappeared. But once you've added all this stuff, add it in your address, and you can go on to shipping method. So click the shipping method, and at that point, you'll be able to choose whether you want to go with our free shipping option, if you want to upgrade to priority, or FedEx 2-day or FedEx overnight shipping, which will be calculated based on your FedEx will be calculated based on the distance and weight of your shipping. So if you're ordering a 1-pound shipment that's going from San Diego to Los Angeles overnight, it'll be pretty cheap. Or if you're ordering 20 bottle openers and it's going to weigh 6 or 7 pounds and it's got to go to New York overnight, then it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But you'll be able to see all those different shipping options on the page, or once you complete here and go to enter your shipping information. So that's it for sort of a basic overview of the updates to our site, as well as how some of our customization features work. If you've got any questions, feel free to send them our way via the contact form on our website, via Facebook, Twitter, leaving a comment or a question on this video. But hopefully that was helpful, and it shows you just how easy it is to go through and get your products personalized and looking exactly the way you want them. Thanks.